Hello guys, so if you want to create your own music videos and you have very normal clips with no color grading at all, you can look into this very useful plugin that I'm using today to create a very easy and quick music video kind of look. So basically this is a plugin, gradient plugin that is actually installed under the Generators tab of Final Cut Pro. It's under a gigantic elements pack. It's called the Mega Graphics pack. It's having 2,000 over elements and I've not finished exploring every one of them. So if you want to check it out, you can see my other video previously I've actually introduced to you guys. If not, today I'm just gonna dive into the very application of this plugin. So basically you can go to the gradients tab and drag them onto your timeline. So for example, you are going to create a very orange sunset look. I'm just gonna drag this gradient block over to my timeline and then go to composing, blend mode and choose screen. Then I'm gonna lower the opacity to a suitable value. For example, 12.6 is a relatively high value. I'm using this value because I'm gonna show you how it's affecting the video very obviously. And of course I can decrease the opacity to make it more subtle and then lengthen it to cover the entire timeline. And for those of you who are not very satisfied with this color, this very orange color, and you want to create a more dreamy purplish kind of color, you can always drag another one. For example, I'm using G01, change the blend mode to screen, and then decrease the opacity to a suitable value if you want to make it a more subtle one. And you can even increase the scale to make some of the colors more dispersed or more concentrated in certain areas. And then of course this is just one of them and there are hundreds of them. I think they are having actually in a total around 400 of them. Yep, actually 400 of them, and they're having a lot of gradient, a lot of colors. It's applicable to many stuff like commercials, music video. I'm just gonna drag another color to show very subtle comparison. It's not a very obviously different color, it's just the opposite of the previous one. It's sort of opposite. I'm just gonna change the blend mode to screen, decrease the opacity. For simplicity, I'm just gonna decrease the opacity to 0 first, so to create some very easy comparison. And then I'm gonna go to titles and then drag the adjustment layer. If you don't have adjustment layer, you can go to the description and download it. And then I'm just gonna make sure it covers the entire timeline. And I'm just gonna use some of the color presets, color grading presets that is also included in the Mega Graphics pack. So the one I'm using is actually color preset 16. And then you can see it's very purple, so I'm just going to decrease the opacity to a lower value, so this adds a little bit more warmth to the actual video clip that I've already sort of color graded. It's actually just a thin layer of the gradients I've added. It's very easy to create, so I'm just gonna go to the color corrections to do some fine tuning. First, I'm just gonna boost the saturation, of course not to maximum, this is gonna be very ugly. So for me, I like things to be more saturated. So actually I'm just gonna show you how it looks with more saturated look because this is more obvious. So you can see that with this saturation added to the color grading just now, it's sort of more fuller in terms of color. It's more sunshine and happier. So I decrease the overall saturation and increase the midtones and highlights to create sort of more sunny looking. Yep, it's fuller in this sense of color, it's more vibrant. You can see the comparison by just press V to disable the adjustment layer with all the color gradings added. Yep. If you like this more saturated color, you can always just increase it like me. If not, you can just avoid this step. Yep, I really like this color because it's like those very sunny color kind of look, and it's kind of dreamy actually to me. Yeah, it's very personal, my personal opinion, and I can increase or decrease the exposure to suit the kind of style I want. So I just gonna decrease the shadow a little bit, increase the midtones and highlights, and you can go to the little icon over here, and you can always change the more subtle settings. And I'm largely satisfied with the color settings and all, so I'm just gonna play around a little bit, and that's about it. And yep, you can always decrease the opacity over here as well. So after that, I'm just gonna show you some very detailed comparison by disabling the the gradients. So first, I'm just gonna increase the opacity for the G22 gradient, slightly higher value, and decrease the opacity for the G01. So I can disable the first clip to see what it looks like for the G01, and disable G01 to see what it looks like for G22. There are not a lot of big differences, but then it's kind of fine-tuning and looks amazing if you want to create a sunny, vibrant look. And that's all for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and please subscribe. Bye bye.